Hey guys, long time no talk, and I'm finally getting around to doing this update because she's sleeping. JoJo's occupied with a movie, although she might run in here naked being loud because I have no control over her anymore because she's crazy. One minute she's good and the next minute she's telling us no and totally just not minding us. But anyways, today she is 2 weeks and 4 days old, so we'll call this a 2-week update, and I'll tell you how the labor ended up going. Yes, I forgot to say in the video I posted that she was born on July 31st, which is my birthday, so we share a birthday, and she was 7 pounds 7 ounces and 21.6 inches long. JoJo was like 6 pounds 15 ounces, and the doctor had just told me the day before that she would weigh like between 6.5 and 7 pounds. So when they said that she was 7.5 pounds, I was like, what? So July 31st, that Friday, was supposed to be my last day of work, and her due date was August 5th. As I was leaving work on Friday at 5 o'clock, it was just me and one other girl left on my floor, and well, that Thursday I had a doctor's appointment, and I told y'all in one of my update videos about the whole membrane sweep thing, and she did do a little one on Thursday. She said she couldn't like do a full one because her head was so engaged she couldn't quite reach whatever. I don't know what she said, but she did what she could. And that Thursday night we went out to eat for my birthday, me, Jared, and JoJo. We were gonna go Friday, but I was like, I think we should go Thursday just in case we don't make it to Friday. So I'm really glad we did. We went downtown and had P.F. Chang's and walked around, and that was our last dinner and stuff together, so I'm glad we did that. Okay, so anyways, as I was leaving work on Friday, I said goodbye to the last girl that was there, and then I went to the bathroom and I went pee, and when I stood up, like, I don't remember why, I sat back down and it like felt like I peed more, but it wasn't pee, and I was like, I automatically thought, is that my water breaking? But it was just a little bit, and I wasn't for sure. So then I started walking to my car, and as I was walking I felt more. It was just kind of slowly trickling out. It wasn't a big gush or anything. I was like, oh my gosh, am I bleeding or something? But when I got to my car I checked and it wasn't blood. So I called Jared as I was pulling out of my parking garage, and I was like, I think it's my water, I don't know what to do. And he was like, he started freaking out. He didn't know what to do either, and traffic would have been horrible going to our house. So I was like, I'll just call the hospital and see if I need to go up there. So I called them, and they're like, oh yeah, you can come up here and we'll check you out. And so I start driving to the hospital, and I was freaking out and crying because I was thinking, what if she comes right here on the side of the road? Because I had always thought when your water breaks, like, the baby comes right away, but I wasn't having any pains or anything. And luckily Jared had decided that day to keep JoJo at home instead of taking her to daycare, and they came and visited me at work for lunch and brought me flowers and gummy bears, and because it was my birthday. So they started heading up to the hospital too, and so yeah, I finally got there and I had to walk in worried about people. I don't think you could see the water because I was wearing black tights, but that's one of the reasons I was crying, is because I was embarrassed about that. But I walk into the hospital and I can't figure out where to go. I'm walking up and down the halls, and so by then I'm bawling like a baby because I can't figure out where to go, and I see these black doors and a phone next to it, so I picked it up and I was crying, and I was like, I'm trying to get to labor and delivery and I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, I will let you in. So they open those doors, and I walk up there, and they tell me to sit down and start filling out some paperwork. I'm like, I don't think I should sit down because the chair will get all wet. So they put some padding, whatever thing on there to soak up the water. And they're just taking their time, and I have to fill out this stupid paperwork. And they finally take me back to a room, and I changed, and they said the nurse would be in. It took her like 15-20 minutes to come back there. And I was sitting in the bed, and the water just still kept gushing out, and it felt disgusting. and then Jared and JoJo showed up. Yeah, then the nurse finally walked in, and it was so annoying. They asked so many questions, and I mean, and then the pain started shortly after the nurse came in. I started having the contractions, and then it's like they were happening one after the other, and they were really, really painful, and I kept asking about the epidural, and I'm like, because I thought that after a certain point, after you're dilated to a certain point, you couldn't get the epidural, but they were acting like it wasn't a big deal, and they still just kept asking these questions. Like one question, what was my degree, or my highest level of education, and I was having a contraction when they answered that, and I looked at Jared and looked at him like, are you freaking kidding me? Are they seriously asking this? And it was just annoying. I just hated being in the hospital the whole time. And I mean, our hospital was awesome, but I just hated it and couldn't wait to come home and couldn't wait to get it all over with. Anyways, the contractions were one on top of the other, really painful, and then they finally got around to getting the epidural, and then she came at 8:50 p.m. So that all happened between 5 and 8:50 p.m. and felt like forever, but I guess that was a short amount of time. And I was really surprised that my water broke, because I was like, I didn't think that happened to hardly anybody these days. So that was a fun experience. And so that was on a Friday night that she came. Then we got to go home on Sunday around 1 o'clock. So yeah, we've been home. This is the beginning of the 3rd week, and the first 2 weeks were a little hard. If you guys watched my updates, I told you about how I was worried about getting the baby blues like I did with JoJo, and this time it did happen. It didn't happen in the hospital, thank goodness. We didn't seem to have as many visitors at the hospital as we did with JoJo, so I didn't feel overwhelmed or anything. But just being at home the first 2 weeks, everything was just a lot different than with JoJo. It felt more comfortable. We weren't as stressed about, because we knew what to do this time. But I was really emotional, just like when it came time to... See, today JoJo's driving me nuts, but still just talking about it makes me want to cry. Anyways, it's just the time, just the fact that Jared and JoJo were, he was pretty much taking care of her, and I was pretty much taking care of her, because I'm breastfeeding, and that's like a full-time job, because she's always wanting to eat. And so Jared was, like, the closeness that they were having, it just made me kind of jealous. But I was also happy because Jared was being really good with her, being really helpful, a good dad and a good husband. So anyways, yeah, I won't talk about it anymore. And I also think I was emotional because, like, I felt really trapped and stuck at home because it's too hot to go outside and do anything. And we didn't have a whole lot of visitors the first week. Now we're starting to get a little bit overwhelmed, but then again, it's like when nobody's here it gets boring, so I don't know. But so yeah, things are finally getting back to normal, it feels like. The first 2 weeks, our church family every other day was bringing us dinner. So this past Saturday was the last day for that, so I went grocery shopping on Sunday for the first time. That felt good to get back to normal, and I cooked yesterday and cooking today. So some days I've been taking JoJo to daycare, and some days I'll leave her here with me. Yesterday Jared and JoJo wasn't here, so it was just us two, and it was really quiet and boring because she sleeps most of the day. And then today all 4 of us are home, and it's really crazy and stressful. So, but Jared, he needs to be going into the actual office to work, because it's really hard for him to work when we're all home. But yeah, I'm just glad I feel good getting back to normal. And I hated that feeling of just randomly crying and not knowing why sometimes, and it sucked. I hate that feeling, but I haven't felt that way in like a week, but just talking about it brought bringing it up made me emotional, but I'm okay now. She is a very noisy baby. She sleeps in our room in her pack and play, and that's a cute noise. But she makes these grunting noises, like she does it when she's pooping, which she poops every 5 minutes, but she also just, I think she does it when she's waking up. I don't know, but it drives us nuts sometimes. But then again, it's really funny. And she's been waking up every 2 to 3 hours to eat, so I don't get much sleep and I don't nap. Everybody says you should nap when the baby naps, so I never did that because I'm just not a napper. Jared can nap, but not me. She can nap. Anyways, yes, I'm breastfeeding. That's been going well so far. It's still painful for the first like week and a half. I used a nipple shield because it was so painful, which is why I quit with JoJo after like a week, and with her I just pumped for like 7 months, and so she had to take like half breast milk and half formula. But this time she's only had breast milk, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really tempted to give up sometimes just because of the pain and because I want Jared to be able to get up and help more at night, but I'm not going to. I'm trying not to pump a whole lot or use a bottle or anything. I want to do it right, but then again, I have pumped probably a handful of times, and she didn't like the bottle at first, but now she likes it just fine, and she doesn't much care for her passy. I try to just use it when she's crying, like, because I take forever to get ready to feed her. So that's when we give her a passy, but she doesn't really care for it. Let's see. We had our 2-week checkup yesterday. She is at 8 pounds now, so she's been gaining weight good, and they say the best way to tell if they're getting enough milk is by their poop and pee diapers, which she has plenty, so I'm guessing she's getting enough. What else? We're doing the cloth diapers. We're doing like half and half for now. And her umbilical cord finally fell off after about a week and a half. That's one reason I wasn't doing very many cloth diapers at first, because I didn't want them to rub on it and bother it. But it fell off. So she has one on right now. It's a pink cover, and I posted a picture on my Instagram yesterday, and she was wearing this one. But it's the pre-fold with a pink sweet pea newborn cover. See? But they're okay. Washing laundry every other day, and it is true that if you put them in the sun, that gets the stains out. I'm sure my posture is horrible. So what else is there to say? JoJo's done really good with her. Like when she's crying, JoJo's always running up to her and like, "It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby." She's always rubbing on her head. And JoJo, it was funny when we first started using the pacifier. JoJo started putting the pacifier in her mouth, and like one day she was back here in her room and it was really quiet. She was back here for like 10 minutes, and I walked in and she's just sitting on her bed with the pacifier in her mouth. So that was really funny. Everybody's doing good. It's just an adjustment, getting used to having 2 kids and being at home with them, plus Jared being at home working. He needs to go into his office more, and trying to get out of the house. It took forever with 1 kid. It takes even longer now with 2 kids. We have to make sure that she's fed and all this stuff, or I pump before we leave or something. But yeah, I'm trying to have lunch with people more, and I'm gonna start visiting people more and stuff like that, just to give me stuff to do. And I'm trying to think of activities for JoJo, because I don't want her watching TV all day. I'm sure there was more I wanted to say, but I can't think of it, and this video is probably already too long. So I want to say thank y'all again. I got a lot of congratulations on my video that I posted of me and her, so thank you for that. I didn't respond to all of them, I'm sorry. But you guys are all really sweet, And oh, the dinner video should start up soon since I'm cooking this week, and hopefully things will get back to normal and I'll get more videos up. And just let me know if you have any questions or anything. Anybody out there who's pregnant or about to deliver a baby, if you have any questions. I have been filming a little bit of the cloth diapers, just my opinion on them, so I'll need to work on that video. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll talk to y'all later, so have a good day.